Hey guys, thanks for joining me. Captain Kurt here. Hey, I want to show you something really cool. I think it's in one of my other videos. I'm not really sure, but somebody asked me to make this. And I'm here with Linda Niemeyer, and she's been learning tandem. She started flying last year, and now she's just kind of learning the basics for taking people up, learning what to do, how to kind of set up. Basically the same thing, little bit of things. It's mostly instructing your passenger what to do and what to look for. And of course, when you got a 42 square meter wing above your head, it reacts a little different than your standard size wing. So we're just kind of trimming around. While we're in here, you know, that wing at 42 square meters, trying to stuff it into a stuff sack, it'll work. But there's also another way of doing it, and we call it book packing it or scroll packing it, or I like to call it the big burrito. And if you do it the burrito way, it's going to come in a lot smaller. You'll be able to get into a smaller bag. And it's very simple, so I thought I'd show you how to do that. You can do this to your regular wing, although I do like using the other method of rolling up my wing and putting it in the stuff sack and having it rosetted. And then, of course, I brought over from skydiving almost 30 years ago. I was a national skydiver for over 20 years. And when I started in skydiving, we had big green Army T-10s and so many lines that you couldn't carry that all back to the packing zone. We had to braid them up. So when it came into this sport, and I started teaching that to my students, it keeps you from getting tangles, makes it easy to carry, makes it easy to unpack. And you can do that with this, but if you want it to get kind of small and not have to struggle so much when you got 42 square meters of wing, that's a big wing. That's a lot of material to stuff in a bag. You can do it this way, and this is called scroll packing or book packing or the big burrito, I like to call it. So what we do is we're going to take our lines, and we just disconnected them from her tandem FlyPod X, and we got the wing laid out, and all I'm going to do is holding them by the connection points. I want to walk in and slack the lines a little bit. And the reason I'm slacking those lines a little bit is because I'm going to straighten my wing out and make it a little flatter. You can see it's almost open like that now, the way it's laid out. But I'm going to just open it up totally flat, like that. Linda, if you want to start in the middle and just work your way out to that tip and just open it up flat. And if you're traveling and you want to get into a small suitcase or something, this is a really good way to do it. It's kind of a quick way. There are all sorts of ways to wind up your wing, and you'll see some of the other ones online with other videos. I really like these two ways. Okay, when you start to tumble your risers, you want to make sure that you don't tumble them too much. Okay, honey, come on in here with the camera. All right, so what I do here is once I get my wing open like this, I pick up the risers by the connection point, and I start with this side first. And what I do, come on over here, babe, right about here, and we're just going to grab these like this. Is that showing up in there? I know the sun's behind me. Sometimes the lighting goes out, but we're going to just do this, and we're going to pull them through our hand and group those lines together. Don't worry about the tip coming in. All I'm doing is grouping my lines together like this for now. When I get up to here, I kind of throw those in, and now I can drag these a little bit, and I just throw my lines inside, okay? And I leave the riser sitting just outside, about a foot outside the wing at the bottom of the lower seam. And I'm going to walk out to that tip, but while I walk out there, I'm going to take all these loose lines and just kind of throw them into the wing so that they'll tuck all in there. Then I take my tip, and again, I'm throwing all the lines that are on the side and on the trailing edge. I'm throwing them in, and now we're getting a little bit of breeze. By the way, that brings up a good point. If it's windy out, you kind of can't do this routine. And it's got a little bit of breeze right now, but we're going to do it anyways. But sometimes when there's too much, you have to do it the other way. You can't do it this way unless you got a calm day. So once we get to our tip and our lines are in, all we're going to do is take our center, or our tip, and we're going to take it right to the center. And we do that on the side that's got the open cells, and we keep all the open cells up towards the top like this. So that side's in. Linda's been over here and throwing her lines in. Only thing I would have done different, Linda, is when you come in with these, stay in the center and make the wing come to you like this, and lay these side by side like this, not on top of each other, but just side by side like that, and then throw them in. Okay? So now we're ready for this side. All the lines are kind of thrown up in there that were on the trailing edge. I'm going to take this tip, I'm going to run it right over to the other center. Okay. And you can get as picky as you want with cleaning it up, but if you just get it kind of squared off here at the end, once you get it like that, you're going to take just like 1 foot sections and just grab about 2/3 in and roll it like this. Just kind of roll it in, roll it, and that's our center right there. So we keep rolling until we get to the center. Keep this kind of tight, and we're not keeping it real tight, but you know, something small. We're going to do the same thing to the other side now. Okay, it does go faster with 2 people, but it's not so bad when you're by yourself. When we get to this point too, I kind of tuck this in here a little bit like this, tighten this one up, and I roll this one nice and slow. And this is why I call it the burrito, just like that, right up onto the top. All right, babe, walk over here with the camera for a second. And what I'm gonna do is pick up the 2 risers right here. I'm gonna grab down here like this, and I'm gonna set them right in there where there's nothing else for them to fall through. And so you wanna guard that. You don't want them to lay on other lines. Then when you open it up, that's how you get tangles. But if you protect your risers, you'll never get tangled. So what we're gonna do is we're just gonna encase those inside there like that. These other lines we can stuff inside. Squeeze a little bit of the air out like this. And then we just start rolling, kind of tight. Keep it kind of tight at first. And we're rolling towards the nose and all the air is coming out. Just like that. And all the air comes out. And that won't damage your cells, it won't damage your mylar strips, and you got a wing that's nice and tight. And look at the size of the bag. Now the bag is almost too big for it. So if you need to pack your stuff up small, this would fit in a small suitcase. Look at it, goes right in there. No work at all. Anyways, I thought I'd share that with you. Linda wanted to see it again, and hope you enjoyed it. Try it with if you're doing tandem wings, try this. Or maybe even do it with your other one if you need to go on a trip and you get it in a small bag. We offer unlimited free training in all 50 states. You get your equipment here. You don't pay that $3,500 for training. Share it with somebody else. Let them see what we do. Thanks for joining me.